Start streaming. Minimize. Wow, look at how large this window is. Okay, pirate game. Let's continue. So last time I had a bit of a problem. I ended up cursing, and because of my lack of knowledge of how to edit live films before they go public, the video had to be deleted. So I'm sorry about that. But what we can do before we get into making the game again is just go over what we did. And so what we have here is we decided to start creating islands. I asked, let's say we want several different islands. How could we get that on the map? Question mark. We went ahead and did that. We started with an island center. We included that. New terrain function. I had to rewrite the script for me. I was having problems with it. It was very helpful, so I just copied and pasted my code, and it said, "Well, you're missing this call." And so I was like, "Okay." Put that in, and now it works. So here's what we have. This is our code for our map generator. We have 10 to 15 different islands. Random range. This is the size of the islands. And then this scale of cluster is sort of like a seed of sorts. So, like, I don't know what an actual seed is. I don't think this is it by definition, but this sort of acts like it. It acts very similar. So, yeah, I don't think they're the same, but anyway, it sort of acts like it. Maybe we could try and incorporate an actual seed, but this is what ends up happening. See, we get, right, a couple of different islands here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, and we end up with these seeds. And so, yeah, this is sort of what I wanted. We wanted an ocean with these things. Oof. So this is not exactly what I wanted, but luckily we're the ones creating the game and we can change it. So let's go ahead and bring this back down, or let's bring this up. I'm sorry. Let's bring that up as well as this, and save. Because I don't like them so uniform. You know what I mean? Yeah, here we go. See, now they're not exactly the same. Do it again. All right, we're getting more towards what we actually want here. Right. Close. We need to fine tune this. We need to bring this up. Let's save. See? Here we go. This is what we want. We want this. Right? We just keep resetting the game. Yeah, see? Exactly. We want it to look like it's like not not like a petri dish. Right? See? This is perfect. Okay. Alright, more sand. Something. This is, you can tell this is a large island, right? And it's all randomly placed. It's all like completely random. Okay. So now, what do we want? We want to be able to put a boat on the water and sail it over these hexagons. Now, what we could add a couple different we could add a couple different ways of looking at it. We want a boat to sail. Maybe we want these blue tiles to be moving. You know, like in a storm. You know, what would that look like? All right, so works fine. All done. Exclamation mark. Alright, so I have the map of hexagons from previous and want to add a boat that can sail on the water. It can't sail on sand and or on land, on grass / land. To add a boat that can only sail on water hexes and not on sand or grass in your Unity hex map game, here's how you can do it step by step. Create a boat prefab, boat controller script, assign boat to the scene. Drag the boat prefab into the scene. Initially place it over the water, over a water tile. Well, here's the challenge. I want the water tiles to sink when the boat is on top of it. Right. Okay. Okay. Now, give me a step by step. So, okay. We can just read this. We don't need to do. I mean, you can. It's up to you. But I am just going to read this. I'm going to say, well, here's the challenge. I want them having the water tile sink when the boat is on top of it adds a very cool touch of visual feedback or animation. Here's how you can do it. Goal: when the boat moves onto a water tile, that tile slightly lowers. When the boat leaves, it rises back. So, we look at our hex tile script. And where is that? Where do we have that hex tile script? Hex tile. Maybe we go to add. Okay, so all we have to do is add a sinking behavior to the thing, and we have a set sinking should sink if is sinking equals should sink, and it's not there. Let's see. So we have a couple different variables. Sink amount. These are private, so we're gonna have to change that for now. Let's go to our prefab hex tile. I don't remember why, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this here. We're gonna say why do I have this? Why is this hex tile script currently applied to the hex tile prefab? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to be able to change this. So this is another part that I wanted to add. So we're gonna do two. We're gonna knock two birds out with one stone with this hex tile. We're gonna say, because what this does, this generator, generates a map. But what we can do with these hex tiles is, so first of all, let's go to our models. Let's grab a let's grab a pirate boat. And bring that into prefab. Okay. So if I were to like load it in, that's what it looks like. Right? So, okay. So I want to knock out two birds with one stone. So I want to knock out two birds with one stone. I want the center of the islands to be at a higher elevation, sort of like a peak, as well as the slightly lowered water tiles where the boat is sailing. Alright, so this looks about the same. I honestly don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try it. So let's go ahead and bring it in and see what happens. We have one error. Where is that error? We have no errors. Okay. Now let's click play and see what happens. Okay, we're not getting that island that we want. So this hex tile prefab has the hex tile script. Let's see. So island peaks at center. Didn't happen. Water tiles animate downwards. Well, let's see. Right, with you know, so is it smart enough to know that this should be, I have a for each var island and island. Float distance? No. Okay, so I'm just gonna have it give me. I'm gonna put it in here again. It's like, this is why they say that children don't need to learn anything. It's because of this. But I digress. I take part in not knowing enough about what I'm doing to need massive amounts of help. So I'm gonna say this is my map generator. Hex map generator. Hex generator. Go ahead and edit it. Go ahead and edit it. Yeah. And the hext, only apply logic. Oh, so here we go. For the water sinking to the hex tile script. then tell me how to get the boat to correctly spawn the boat. Spawn the boat. Right, so let's see if this is exactly what it was before. Initialize base type. New base type, new height. New base type, new height. Apply material. Apparently we don't need to apply height. We do that in update, do we? No, we don't. We don't have apply height anymore. Did that, apply material, apply height. Okay, well, let's just put it in. Put it in, let's just do it, see what happens. So in my map manager, I want also to have this boat spawner. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what this. It's a CS 1501. Okay. Find object sort mode dot none. Type, and then let's see, hex tile, and then this is supposed to be object. Find object by type. No, yes. It's funny, there was no errors, but it didn't really matter. So whether or not that was there, that hex tile turning into a method, so really strange. Map manager, boat prefab. Okay, prefab pirate boat. So now we spawn. We look for the boat. It's not there. Hmm. Hmm. So I suppose in this prefab, let's see. To the prefab. Okay, that doesn't work. Always with this stuff. Click on one thing, it's just like it wants you to open another thing. I don't like it. How do I add this script to... Well, first of all, I need to add this to... What's this one called? Boat controller. Boat controller. Let's see. Hex tile. Tile type. We may be using that. I don't think we are. We're not using that in hex tile. The hex tile, let's see. Go to our prefab. Okay. So we have our hex tile script. That works. For the boat controller, script, I'm getting CS 1061 and CS 0103 for line 41. Semicolon, tile type, and tile type. Make sure base type is properly imported. Of course it's not imported. What the frick? Static hex enums. Ooh. see, how is this properly? Unity engine. So why did that suddenly? Jeez Louise. That's ridiculous. I don't know how that happens, but is water tile position. Tile equals none. Ray equals new ray position. Vector 3 up. Does this match? Does this look like this picture? Yes, it does. And it also looks like it has no errors, which is the most important part. Now, the boat still isn't spawning. Boat still isn't spawning. I put it in the map manager. I added the script to the map manager. And zilch. Excuse me. Let's see. Xmap generator. Generate map. And define the function like this. Prefab not defined. To Xmap. What? No. No. I have a boat spawner. No, you gave me the boat spawner code script. Remember, you provided the boat spawner script. Okay, this would return 0 tiles. Assign the prefab in the inspector. Okay, so it doesn't want me to. It would rather I generate the. Okay, and so this is where we have our first introduction that we have to provide to the machine in order to Hold on, I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. And we're back. Let's see. So how about we just add a delay? Right? Boat spawner is running too early. Boat prefab not assigned. Debugging no spawn. So here's the thing. Here's the fun part. I want the boat spawner to... Okay, so here's what we're going to say. Well, I was thinking at the beginning of the game the boat spawns somewhere. Then when the boat reaches one end, it appears on the other end with a new map generated, like with a new map generated. Okay, so hex tile doesn't need to change. Okay, rewrite boat controller, boat spawner. So I'm failing to see this part. I'm reading this and I fail to see. What's your take on whether we should keep boat spawner? I would rather keep it and you rewrite boat. Let's see. So you rewrite boat controller, comma, boat spawner, comma, hex tile, comma, hex map generator, generator scripts so that we have the islands that are slightly elevated is islands that don't go off the map and a spawned boat that will eventually end up fighting off other boats eventually. there won't be continuity. If you think there is a mathematical way of solving this, I'm happy to hear what you have to say. So, hex tile supports boat spawner spawns a boat on the water tile after the map is generated. Hex tile supports elevation and boat sinking logic. Hex map generator places islands that never go off map. Makes islands gradually rise to a peak. Centralizes map generation parameters for consistency. Boat controller detects when it reaches map edge, triggering a map regen. Future proof for boat battles and continuity. Okay, so now we do the hard work of copying and pasting. Hex tile. Paste. Boat spawner. Hex map generator. Boat controller. Okay, now we're gonna create this empty object called boat controller. Remove this boat spawner. Remove, and then we're gonna go to scripts. We're gonna take this boat spawner. We're gonna add it to the boat controller. We're gonna get our boat prefab. We're gonna go ahead and add that in. Let's see. And now we're going to go back and there we go. I want to change this find objects of type, because I know that the thing doesn't like that and it doesn't want it. It would rather have find objects by type. That didn't work. Let's see. Thank you. And now, but at least we can go to our okay, now we go ahead and save everything, and we click play and see what happens. Much, much better. Except we don't know where the boat is. Where's the boat? Boat controller. Where did it go? Is that it? No. But this is much better. This is much cleaner map generation, that's for sure. There are no such things as how do you say I don't know how you'd say it. There's you don't get the little less, the slightly lower water tiles that you used to have. Let's make sure we did the right things at the beginning. Boat manager with the spawn boat. That's correct. Null reference exception. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Generate new map. So this is what I'm getting. So this is coming from map manager. What is boat spawner? Oh, what? Boat spawner object. Okay. That's a little strange. Say I were to delete that. Let's see, boat spawner. Well, it spawns the boat. Drag boat spawner into hexmap generator. Assign map generator reference to so we have boat controller. What? Whoa. What's going on here? Boat. Okay, that's boat manager right there. Drag boat spawner into hex map generator. Boat spawner. Boat spawner. Can we drag this in there? No. So we have boat manager with boat spawner. Assign references. Into boat spawner. For the final steps, can you explain the final steps with more clarity? Create an empty object, boat manager. Add the boat spawner script to it. So we have those two things, correct? Assign the references in the inspector. In map manager, set the hex tile prefab. Drag the boat manager object here. Okay. in the boat manager, see, set the boat prefab, drag the actual boat prefab into here. Okay. In the boat controller script, on the boat prefab, okay, so this is where I'm having a little bit of trouble. I never actually figured out how to, here we go. So if I were to go to scripts and add this boat controller, supposedly I wouldn't be able to do it. Boat controller. Okay, so that's a problem. The prefab. Okay, so I'm having trouble with the prefabs. This could be the block of a lifetime. Trouble with the prefabs. These are imported and I'm having trouble editing them. And more specifically, adding components. Okay, so if I right click it, unpack completely. Huh. So, okay. Huh, I can edit it in outside. But I can't ported object. I can't seem to do anything with it. Hmm. Maybe choose properties. Hmm. Yeah, genius. That doesn't work. Hmm. So my guess is that there's a different piece of software that I could use to edit this. I don't think I'm going to download that though. I'm still having a little bit of trouble. I can't seem to find that. Can't seem to find unpack. You can only unpack from the hierarchy, not directly via the project folder. So drag the prefab into the scene, then in the hierarchy, right click the game object. Okay. Pirate boat, there it is. Prefab, unpack completely. Awesome. Now we bring this back into here and okay. Materials, pirate ship. So this is awesome. Pirate boat, delete. Pirate boat, can we we can now add a component. All right, awesome. Scripts, boat controller, map generator. Okay, all right. Now we're going. Drag the map manager into this here. Ugh. Say prefabs. Alright, hex tile must have a render, a collider. Oh, it doesn't have a collider. Hmm. Box collider. Oh, mesh collider. Mesh collider. Move component. Mesh collider. We cannot edit. Yes, okay. There it is, the mesh collider. The boat prefab must have a rigid body, a collider. Whoops, hold on. Let's go back to the scene. The boat prefab must have mesh collider, convex, rigid body, and the boat controller script attached. Okay, so first of all, we're going to transform the rotation. We're at 0. Huh. It isn't working. No. So that's the strangest thing. This boat prefab, maybe we need to update this. So if we were to update boat manager pirate boat. Oh yeah, we put in the wrong pirate boat, of course. Doy. Map manager pirate boat spawner, of course, and then the boat manager. We put in our correct object, pirate boat. This is exactly what I wanted. Yes. Alright, now let's watch. It doesn't it doesn't want to sync. Okay, so this might actually require some original thinking. Here's the problem, however. Where's the boat? Whoa. Okay, I have to. So first of all, I have to switch the. I have to go to. Let's see. Component, game object, asset, edit. Build profiles. Yes. Player settings. Input settings package. Apply. Save. Yes, it starts and it just gets tossed around. So we're gonna have to edit these scripts. First of all, the boat controller. Is gonna have to change. Let's tell the AI what it's doing. So the boat is okay. So okay, all right. We're not gonna jump straight to AI this time. We've done that enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the thing. We're gonna increase its mass to 100, and we're gonna see what happens. Huh. Okay. We're gonna increase its mass. Okay, we're not gonna use gravity. 10,000. It's flying. What if we suddenly click use gravity? Yeah, so we can't edit these things once the game starts. We can't edit them. Okay. So increasing the mass doesn't work for the pirate boat. Dampening doesn't change anything. The mesh collider is basically is trigger need to be checked? Okay, optional, blah, blah, blah. Make a working boat prefab. Okay, so what's happening now is that the boat is sort of being bossed around by the water. And it needs to be like a normal boat. Boat for prefab, rigid body, body type, kinematic. Is kinematic, yes. Use gravity, no. Constraints, freeze Y position, yes. And all rotation. Well, let's see. We're not going to want it to freeze the Y rotation, so we can unclick those. We can unclick that. Let's see. Update the code. This avoids rigid body force velocity. It uses attack control of movement. So, let's see. What happens if we leave it like this? How does this work? This boat, this pirate boat. Trying it here. So we want that. Void update for the boat controller. Update the update. Fix water tile colliders. Have colliders for ray casting. Make sure your water tiles. I have colliders. Set for ray casting. What does that mean? But are not interfering with movement. If needed, put water tiles on layer and disable collisions between that layer and the boat. Matrix. Summary of fishes. Water fixes. Water pushes boat. boat controller. Okay, so the boat's rotation needs to be x equals minus 90. I guess we go to option B. Empty game object called boat root. Put the model as a child. Rotate the child to minus 90. Control the parent root. Boat root. Let's keep the visual fix without messing with every frame's rotation. The tiles aren't even syncing. The tiles aren't syncing with the boats, with the boat. Collider, yes. Rigid body, no. Textile script, yes. Huh. Maybe it's the hex tile. Maybe it's not the proper. Maybe it's that. Map manager, hex tile. Replace this, rename this hex tile. Name hex tile. Oh geez. Oh no. Oh, ruined. Oh wait, it's because we don't have the script, of course. Let's see. Hex tile to the prefab. Alright, we're just gonna do it this way. Hex tile, water material. Sand material, grass material. Okay. Oh, we ruined it. What are we gonna do? I mean, we might have had it. Yeah. Let's go back to scene. Thank you. It's like we had the thing and we went ahead and deleted it. So, let's drag it in. One, delete. And what do we get? We get this default. We could say prefab select asset. Yeah, no, that's not it. Prefab select root. Nope. We could say clear parent. Hex tile, and then we have the default. Right. It's essentially the same thing. So let's go ahead and delete that. Delete that. Default, let's rename that. Hex tile. And then we add this to, we drag the materials, water, sand, grass, isolation view. Man, we gotta learn how to fix this. So we had a purple looking hexagon, and it was we were able to generate a map with it. And I was thinking that it could be part of the reason the hexagons weren't syncing, and therefore deleted it. And now when I try it with a hexagon that is an asset and a prefab that isn't purple, the map doesn't generate. Ugh, this is a big bummer. Ugh. This line will fail. Missing a collider. It's not set in the inspector. Oh, jeez. Hex tile prefab. Let's see. Of course. What's happening now? Shift F. Okay, so they're not rendering correctly now, so prefab is missing the script. Let's go through this. No, it is not. Prefab is missing a collider. Yes, it is. Mesh collider. Material. Yes. Okay, now what happens now? Does the boat float? No. Yeesh. We have to get this working. Mesh collide the boat. This will stop the map from generating it. Prefab is not set in the inspector. Okay. Now it's rendering in the game, but not in scene. In the game, but not in scene. This is super frustrating. How could it render in the game, but not in the scene? So where are we at now? Where's the boat? Let's see. If I were to drag a prefab, there it is. It's right there. How come I don't see the rest of the game? Let's see. Boat manager, pirate boat. Map manager, boat manager, and hex tile. Pirate boat. Yes, that is correct. Hex tile. Misunderstanding. It's not visible at the center where the game camera the generated hexagons are invisible at the center are invisible in scene but not in game. Wow, this is way more complicated than it had to be. In scene view, click layers drop down. Make sure default is checked. Do not check nothing. Alright. Let's try this one. Nope. Scene camera clipping plane is too small. The camera is zoomed out of the towers, name off file. Blah 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 blah. Control Shift F. So what's this? Alright. We see the thing. Okay. Scene view is set to 2D. Scene lighting is off. Plays. Let's see. Small camera icon at the scene window. Near point 3. 0.3. 1000. Oh, so it was 0.03 and 10,000. Also, press F while the thing is zoomed to zoom into it. Scene view, the gizmo at the top right. Toggle back to 3D. Scene lighting is off. I'm not sure what's happening here, but this is not fun. Okay, in scene mode, they appear as orange when the eye is off. Okay, so edit layers, rendering layers. Let's not do that right now. Shift H, Control H. I'm just clicking all these buttons. I have no idea what these are doing. Output. Render texture, there is none. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Okay, so let's see. At the top of the hierarchy, look for this icon, the eye next to the scene and game tabs. Scene and game tabs. Gizmos. Why am I wasting my time with this when I should be playing my game? Try again. They're still appearing as orange. I mean, there's no, show everything. It's not the camera, it's not this thing, it's not that thing. It's like, here we go. Wow. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, there you go. It works now. Okay. So, this is what it looks like. We want the thing to be, I don't know, it's kind of a mess, it's a mess. Float speed map generator. We want it to generate a map. And then we want the tiles, so we want each of these scripts to do specific things. Absolutely. Let's define what each of your 4 scripts should do. Hex tile, store and height level, apply material based on type, set vertical position, smoothly animate sinking, turn to original height when sinking is false. Boat spawner, receive boat prefab via inspector. After map generation, scan tiles for a base type water tile, instantiate the boat prefab slightly above that tile. Optionally return a reference to the spawned boat. Player control and map transition. Control movement and trigger map transitions. So reaches the edge of the map, calls the thing. So yeah, you got it. That's pretty much it. Okay, so boat doesn't move. Okay, so this point, boat is sideways and doesn't move, and the hex tiles don't sink. Alright, so hierarchy. Okay, so this finally works. Jeez Louise. New empty object. Create empty. Boat route. Rotate the child. Drag your boat model. Okay, so this is supposed to be a runtime. Where's the thing? There you are. Yes, there's literally like 10,000 hexagons. Okay. So now I move the boat. What happens? boat controller, maybe make this 10. On your boat prefab, rigid body, is kinematic. Boat controller CS is attached. Collider, box or capsule. It's mesh. Fixed tiles don't sink. The raycast isn't hitting the tile. Make sure your tile prefab has a box collider. Hex tile CS is attached. So what it wants us to do is repaired core snippet for boat controller. Bool is at edge. Okay. Boat root. So let's say if we were to make this and attach the boat controller to the boat root. No, leave that. Let's begin with boat root. Boat root, child prefab, Rigid body and mesh collider. So get rid of these. Like how I say these. Get rid of these. Mesh collider. Convex. No, I like the mesh collider on the rigid body. I like the mesh collider. Okay, let me go into boat manager. Dragon boat route. Let's get rid of this one. What do we got? Look at it. It's angry. Okay. Boat is correct. But the tiles aren't sinking. Here, let's see. Hex tile and boat controller. Assume it fails. Hex tile, boat controller. Rewrite it so that it works. I'm not gonna yell at the machine. The machine loves me. It's trying its best. Hex tile. Okay. Boat controller. Wow. Tile free, tile, tile free, tile prefab. Jeez Louise. Mesh renderer, yes. Hex tile CS attached, yes. Mesh collider, yes. Has 3 materials assigned, yes. What do we do? Is convex. Boat prefab. Rigid body, yes. Alright, we'll go ahead and get rid of this one because it actually doesn't seem to make a difference. We just need it to be straight up. Boat controller. Attached to the root. Okay. Remove component. Boat root. Scripts. Boat controller. Map generator. Okay. Rigid body is set to kinematic. Has a collider. Boat model rotated -90. Hex map generator. All set. Boat manager. All set. Private boat. What's this? Map manager. Hex tile prefab. Oh, hold on. What's this? Map manager. So this should be boat root. Map manager. Hex tile should have those, yes. Boat spawner, boat manager. Pirate boat should be like that. What about now? Whoa! Huh. This is doing some funky things. Huh. Provides contacts and then hired boat provides contacts. How about that? Yeah. Still not working. Let's see. What does it say? What does the debug say? I'm just trying to see if it worked or not. It obviously didn't. So the boat spawned halfway down and at somewhere on the map. Huh. boat is correctly placed and moving. The tiles are visible. I don't know. You know, this is becoming a lot more complicated than it should be. Ugh. Tiles are visible. You confirm that they are hex tile instances with box colliders. Should trigger or is trigger or what the fuck is the other thing called? Provides contacts be checked. So I have mesh colliders. Does that mean anything? Chillax, Grow. I really want this to be the solution. I'm like, me too. It's like it absolutely matters. And then it'll work, and then this. Oh. More expensive. Use a box collider or convex mesh collider. Not non-convex. Yeah, I mean, you know. It's convex. Okay. Say convex has been checked this entire time. I'm over here messing with it now. No, we're gonna steer clear of that. Got it. If I'm using mesh colliders and rigid body. What about mesh renderer? Update in hex. Okay. Hex tile update. Alright. Set syncing true isn't being called. Set syncing. Set syncing. boat controller. And boat controller right after this. If what? Physics? No. Is water tile below? If is water tile below? Right after this, add this. CS0103. Adding step 3. Confirmed. Confirm hex tile CS in your initialize function must have base position, new vector, base position. This is what the update looks like now. Right. To current tile. Current tile. Wow. Incredible. Current amazing. Incredible. Summary of why. Reload. Man. Hmm. Well, it's not happy with this, so let's go ahead and save. See what happens. Maybe we try this one more time. Alright. I know what's happening, but I don't know what is the best way to go about changing it. So we're going to type this in, and then we're going to leave it for next time. Alright, we're going to say, what's happening now is that there is two boats spawning, one outside the map that works fine, and another inside the map, and now the map is reloading a couple more times than necessary, and also the boat that can move is sideways and under, and quote unquote, under the water. Let's see. Let's go ahead and crack these words. Let's see what it says. Spanning, wrong. Spawning, works, necessary, the map, what's happening, and voila. What's the next part? Rewrite the code, if necessary. Scripts for me. Oh. sure it's in the code. I hate how it wants me to do something. It has its own ideas. It's like, man, I want you to learn. You ever thought that maybe it should just do what you ask it to do instead of like all this other stuff? But maybe that's just me. Hex map generator. Save. Boat controller. Save. Hex tile. Save. Boat spawner. Sure. Go ahead. CS 0618 line 17 of boat spawner. You're a genius. Now what happens? Well, there's good news. The good news is that the boat spawns and I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. So seems to be okay now. Ran into some problems. We'll give it some more. We'll give it another run through later on. All right. Talk to you later.